The Russian State Duma has introduced amendments to increase the terms of imprisonment for committing terrorist attacks, assisting terrorist activities or organizations, committing sabotage and acts of international terrorism. And Putin has recently signed 2 bills to expand the legal penalties for discrediting all Russian personnel waging war against Ukraine. Thanks to this, the Kremlin will pursue an even more aggressive policy of repression, according to analysts at the Institute for the Study of War.
The Kremlin is likely intensifying legal punishments for terrorism-related crimes as part of a larger effort to promote self-censorship and establish legal conditions for intensified domestic repressions, from official report of the Institute for the Study of War.
But even now, the Russian repressive machine is working at full capacity. Only on April the 12th, according to the publication Over the Info, 6 court hearings on politically motivated criminal cases will be held in different regions of Russia. One of them is the case of Ijevsk lawyer Dmitry Talantov about fakes about the Russian army. A lawyer's post on social networks in April 2022 is the basis of the criminal case. In it, he wrote that Mariupol, Irpin and Bucha are extremely Nazi practices. He faces up to 15 years in prison. The Russian prosecutor demanded an even longer term for the politician and journalist Vladimir Kara-Murza.
The prosecutor asked for a total term of all these compositions on which Vladimir is accused, which is 25 years in prison. This is the maximum possible. As Vladimir said, it's quite the terms of Stalin times.
Vladimir Kara-Murza was arrested in April 2022 on charges of spreading false information about the Russian army. Now he is charged with 3 more episodes of treason and participation in the activities of an undesirable organization.
I was sure that after 2 decades in Russian politics, after everything I had seen and experienced, nothing could surprise me anymore. I must admit that I was wrong. Nevertheless, I was surprised that in terms of the decree on closeness and discrimination of the defense, my trial in 2023 left behind the trials of Soviet dissidents in the 1960s and 1970s, not to mention the request term and vocabulary about the enemy. This is not even the 1970s. This is the 1930s. Vladimir Kara-Murza, Russian politician, from the last word at a meeting of the Moscow City Court.
A local resident was fined 30,000 rubles in Khabarovsk for a poster with the word peace.
The word peace was considered as discrediting the actions of the Russian army.
On the morning of April the 11th, security forces came to search the apartment of Rus News journalist Roman Ivanov in the city of Korolyov. According to the Russian investigator, the journalist's post on Telegram became the reason for these cases. Ivanov had previously spoken there to criticize the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
He is charged with 3 criminal cases in which he faces from 5 to 10 years in prison. That's what the investigator said.
What for?
For posts in the Telegram channel, as usual.
Have they taken all the technology?
They have. You can come in and have a look.
2 residents of Yekaterinburg received 19 years in prison for anti-war arson of the administration building, which housed the military registration desk. Despite the failed attempt, the punishment for such actions in Russia turned out to be the most severe.
I decided to take such an action because I didn't agree with the mobilization, the special military operation, and the war in general. With my action, I just wanted to show that there is a disagreement with the mobilization and the special military operation in our city. I wanted to convey my position of disagreement in this way. I wanted my voice to be heard. Roman Nasreyev, accused of committing a terrorist act, from a speech at a court hearing.
Repressions have become tougher in Belarus as well, after the explosions at the airfield in Machulishi on February the 28th, when a Russian reconnaissance aircraft was damaged. Authorities began to detain civilians more often there. Now 100 administrative and 20 criminal cases a week have become the norm for the Belarusian security forces. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Natalia Husak, Volodymyr Shtangelov, UATV News.